We got $10 from Valentine that says, up late again because I couldn't resist the awful games block. It's always a delight to see people bring energy for their favorite terrible games. Gotta sleep so I can do work tomorrow, but shout out to all the night owls still in the crowd and see you in the morning. Oh yeah, we got a decent amount of people in here. There were a decent amount of people in here. It is very late, very early at this point. Just want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Tokyo Attack. They specialize in bringing rare import Japanese games to convention events all across the country, especially here. Here at Awesome Games Done Quick, they have U-Beat, Super Table Flip, and Taiko no Tatsujin. And hopefully I said that right. And much, much more. We got $50 from a Grovile that says, I'll do you one better and scrape together $50. Shout out to the Gentaguru and RPX for being great big nerds, and shout out to all the runners putting together the awful block. Keep curing that evil cancer, guys, and remember, hype! Money goes to announcer's choice, and as long as it's not saving or killing the animals. Alrighty, I got you. We got $20 from Kupomatic that says, hey AGDQ, finally catching this year's marathon, and of course, it's during the awful games block. Love seeing how these awful games could be broken even further. We got $5 from Pyronic85 that says, I can't wait to see the furry run, but in the meantime, let's get going with these awful games and do the quick. We got $15 from Brandon83 that says, first time donating, long time viewer. Announcer's choice for incentive. P.S. Announcer, we should do lunch sometime. No. We got $10 from Frozen Gnomes that says, donating because of a cancer scare last year, skin cancer be hecked. Good luck to all the runners. Donation towards the Dark Souls 3 glitch exhibition. We got $50 from Missing Link X that says, first time actually getting to watch AGDQ live. My grandma is recently a cancer survivor, so I'm definitely willing to donate in her name. Kill cancer and kill the animals. We got $100 from Monica Nation. Thank you. Alrighty, looks like ppotdot1 is ready to take it over.
Good. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm ppotdot1. This is Adventure Island 2 for the Game Boy. And how about everybody on the couch introduce yourselves?
I'm Fast at CC.
Dark Terex.
I am Richard.
Mr. Cap.
All right, so then we'll just go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so if you haven't heard of this game before, this is actually a port of Adventure Island 3 for the NES. It's a little bit different in how it plays. It's all the same levels in all the same order as 3 for the NES, but the way that the stages are laid out is different just due to the limitations of the Game Boy. So there's certain elements of each stage that they kept intact. This is like the iconic segments of each level. But they had to get rid of a little bit just because there's not quite enough space. So we got our first dinosaur in that last level. This is Taylor. He tail whips. And this is Magma. He breathes fire. We're going to be using Taylor a lot in the in-game just because he's basically our boss killer. He does the most damage to bosses. We're going to take the skip here, which it cuts out a whole level, actually. There's 3 levels in the other path, and there's only 2 this way. And then this is Classy. Keep it classy, everybody.
Classy, known for very fast movement speed underwater. If you happen to lose Classy and you're just walking underwater, you are painfully slow as Master Higgins.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant difference in swimming speed. At the end of every stage, there's a countdown of your stamina bar at the bottom. We're gonna get that clock. It's so the more fruit you collect, the more stamina you have, and it takes a little bit extra time to do that. Most stages we have to collect at least one fruit though, or we can't make it to the end of the stage alive. So there's a little bit of interesting routing in terms of like which fruit you need to collect to end up low for the fastest stage clear.
And a little bit about the lore of this game. So Master Higgins, with his girl Tina, gets abducted by aliens actually, and so he is on a journey to try to save her. Very interesting lore in this game.
Yeah, it turns out it was aliens the whole time. But we're going to come up to our first boss here. This is the ant lion, or sand crab, or whatever. Kind of just have to wait for him to come out of the ground. Pulley has pseudo-invulnerability. This is Pulley, by the way, while he's rolling. He can still be hit by projectiles, but regular enemies and bosses can't hurt him while he's in mid-roll animation. So yeah, that was, that was the first boss. Pulley is actually very useful for a lot of the stages before we get the flying dinosaur Don Don. Once we get Don Don, Pulley still has a couple of uses, but he gets a lot of use before Don Don.
And as Pata was saying earlier, you know, all the stages are kind of routed so that you pick up, you know, particular fruits. I guess in this case, you can kind of see the stamina bar refilling. Some stages require countdown like that, as you can see, you know, lots of stamina, lots of time lost in that, but sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah, there's really no way to dodge all the fruits in that stage and still go fast. So it ends up being just, they're in your way as you just collect them. So we're going to try to avoid the pumpkin here at the end. Okay. And so next up we have an ice stage. There are some ice physics in this game. We're going to swap to Taylor for this though, because he doesn't slip on ice. And we're going to take the first world skip in this stage. There's going to be a couple of these. It totally skips a bunch of levels and the boss fight of this particular world. We are going to go back to a previous stage here, though, to collect Don Don. On the NES version, the regular path ends up having a Don Don right in your way. But in this case, it's not there. Like they changed the layout of the room where he normally is, so he's not there. So we just have to come back and collect him, and it still ends up saving a lot of time to come back and get him, just because there's a couple of vertical stages coming up, and those, it's really important to have Don Don for the vertical stages.
Yeah, something about these dinosaurs is that if you happen to lose them, sometimes it's more beneficial to go back and retrieve them instead of just you know, walking across some of these stages.
Yeah, that's one of the big benefits of this one as opposed to the NES version. The NES version, you can't go back and revisit stages. So if you lose a dinosaur, you're just out of luck. If you want to read a couple donations here, that'd be kind of cool.
Alrighty, well, we got a $100 donation from Ken Cam that says, "Good luck to everyone in this event. Such an awesome cause run by awesome people." We got $50 from the Mog Miner who says, "AGDQ and SGDQ are the things I looked forward to every year. 25 of this goes towards the choice of one of the two remaining people in the audience, and 25 to the other really passionate dude."
And we are going to take the skip in this stage as well. It's right here. Just got to make sure that we get the key, and the waterfall opens. Crystal? Yeah, we got it. So there's a little bit of luck involved in whether or not you get the crystals in these skips. The crystals is a shield. It lets you take one extra hit, and it's pretty useful for safety on a couple of the upcoming bosses. I'm going to not equip it here because the stage has a little bit of extra lag in it with the crystal equipped. But as you can see, this vertical stage is just totally wrecked by having Don Don there. If you didn't have Don Don, you'd have to fly back and forth, or you have to run back and forth as probably pulley, and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, as you can tell, you can use Don Don to just fly over most all of these stages here.
Weren't you saying it was something like it's a pixel perfect movement?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's definitely not just, holding a button to stay up there.
All right, so there is a one cycle possible on the Salamander boss here. It's a little bit precise in your position to have a shot at it. I have the crystal, so I can be a little bit riskier. We'll see how it goes. Line myself up right. Oh, back off. Abandoning. All right, it's fine. All right, so that was a little bit of a slower 2-cycle. I went a little bit too far forward, but we only just lost the crystal, so that's basically what that's there for, is to have the safety we're at. We're gonna skip that one. The better fruits later on in the stage. If you wanted to read a couple donations here.
Alrighty, we have $75 from Stephen J. Thank you very much for that. And we have $10 from Tian that says, Games done quick has always been mind-blowing. These runners are button-pressing gods. I lost my uncle to a long fight against cancer. I hope I never need to lose anyone again. Kill the animals.
Music in this game is pretty good. Just it's a little too bad you can't hear the whole song.
You're just too fast.
It's a little bit too fast for every stage. So we're actually not going to take the secret path in this stage. We're going to go the normal way. It's the same number of stages. It's just that your world movement is actually quite a bit slower taking the secret path. Plus those stages, there's one of them's a cloud stage. It's horizontal though, and it's kind of awkward. Most of the time you'll end up like at the very top of the screen when the stage finishes, which normally doesn't matter because you usually reach the bottom for the cave before it matters for the fanfare and the stamina countdown. But if you're right at the top of the screen in some of the really tall stages, it can take a little bit extra time for you to enter the cave, which delays your stamina bar countdown. Second instance of Classy. So as Classy moves really slowly on land, but that's as slow as you move in water as Higgins. So it's pretty important to keep her. And then the next stage is the underwater eel boss. We're actually going to start off with Don Don. It's about a second faster to do this beginning section with Don Don, as opposed to going underwater and kind of circling around to where collect Classy, please. Thank you. To where this Classy's at. Kill some of the enemies in your way, reduce a little bit of the lag. You want to kill as few enemies as possible in general, just because your attack button is also your run button. So you end up moving just slightly slower each time you attack. All right.
Nice.
I picked up this game for the last 12-hour challenge. If you haven't heard of the 12-hour challenge, it's a really cool community event hosted by Golden. He kind of just kind of introduced the idea as a pick up a game over a weekend and learn the route and do a speed run of it over a 12-hour period. And so it's a really good way to get your foot in the door to just any kind of speed run you're interested in. It's a really cool way the community kind of bands together and like helps everybody learn just a bunch of new speed games, and it's a really cool event.
It's good to just be able to, pick up something that you don't have any experience in, and then, see if you like it or not. And as you can see, you like this enough to run it some more. So.
Yeah. Okay. So got another kind of standard stage coming up if you wanted to read a donation or two.
I actually would like to remind the GDQ audience that there is a bid war for the Trauma Center file name, so make sure you can get in your donations for that.
And so each stamina bar here lasts around 3.5 seconds. So you kind of just have to keep that in mind as you're going through a stage. It was very important while he was like routing the game.
Yeah, some of the fruits that you can collect are in an optimal position where you end up at, this is not pulley. We're fine. This is fine. Don't worry about it. I ended up being fine. But some of the fruits in the stages are set up in a way that it's just optimal to collect them, and it leaves you at 1 stamina left. Most of the fruits that you collect aren't that way, so you just kind of have to pick and choose which one will leave you at 2 or 3 if there's not a 2 stamina fruit in your way. So we're actually going to go underneath this stage. It's the only stage in the game that you get to fly underneath. Pretty interesting. And then this is the only stage, the only ice cave stage that we're gonna fly through. Just because there's a lot of like really awkward platforming that you would do as Taylor, and it's not too difficult as Don here. The next stage coming up, Blizzard Peak, is actually quite a bit different between the two stages from NES version to this version. Normally in this stage, to take the world skip, there's like an egg with a key out in the open. For this version, they decided that they were going to put it in a breakable cave down here for whatever reason. All right, and so then we're coming up in World 7. Boss of World 7 is actually pretty tricky. It's the Moth boss. I don't think he just wants to play cards, though, unfortunately, Terex.
That's a shame.
Gonna collect a bunch of the fruit just to reduce a little bit of the lag in our way, because we're gonna take the secret here. And cool, we lost Classy at the last second. It's better to lose Classy there, just because you run faster on land as Higgins. And that was actually a really good Classy loss. And we got the crystal, so that's really nice. That'll give us some safety for the moth.
Yeah, so as you can tell, ppotdot's focusing very carefully here. Very precise pixel that he's got to be at. Not really.
I do have to come down at the end, or I run into the birds. But yeah, other than that, it's totally pixel perfect movement.
It's mostly about enjoying this wonderful music here.
How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Y'all having a good day?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to breakfast. All right.
Nice 1 stamina.
Yep, the 1 stamina fruit at the start of the stage. All right, and here's Moth. The stage is kind of tricky, and the boss is on the harder side. Okay, good start. We're going to slow down there. Mistime one of my tail whips.
Yeah, a little bit about this upcoming boss. So it requires 26 shots to kill with Taylor.
Ah, manipulated him up. Don't fall off the edge, thank you. Okay.
Nice.
So you can finish him on the left side if you're really fast. I just did a slightly wrong manipulation. So he went up a little bit higher. I had to dodge around him a little bit. Please, let's start button. All right, and so then because we're getting to the end game, there's a bunch of volcanoes that are blowing up. It's supposed to be kind of dangerous. But the volcanoes actually spawn off screen when they're erupting. So the first fireball that they launch ends up despawning before you even see it.
Don flies over danger. And so with some of the later bosses in this game, so the axe actually isn't that terrible of a weapon because it has a very high attack rate, but still you don't want to resort to that. But it's coming on later into the game. Like if you're just Master Higgins, it's not as much of a detriment as if you lose him during some of the platforming sections in this game.
Cool, we got a backup crystal. So yeah, if you don't have Taylor for the last boss, it's actually better just to have Higgins with the axe over any of the other dinosaurs. Taylor does twice as much damage. So Taylor, Magma, and Pulley all do twice as much damage as the axe, but Taylor's the only one that has the same attack rate as the axe. And with Pulley, every attack that you have the boss iframes have to totally wear out before you can get another hit in. So it's considerably faster to use Taylor over everything else. All right, and then this is the last standard stage before the last boss stage. And they kind of figured that you were gonna have Don here, so they tried to put a couple of birds in your way as kind of a, you can't use Don here, and just fly across. But if you know where they are at, it ends up being not too difficult to dodge them. Scariest enemy in the stage is the snake. Pretty good stage.
Nice.
I don't know what the time is at here, but this felt pretty good. We don't attack him on the way back because he ends up teleporting, losing a little bit of time to do that way. All right, and so then we just fight the alien left. It'll be a 2-cycle. Just kind of have to wait for him to teleport and reappear. And then time will come up here as soon as he explodes in just a second. Time.
Yo, 2132.
Yo, that's a PB.
That is great.
Awesome.
Great
Nice.
run.
So yeah, that was a pretty good run actually. So we blow up the alien. We get into his UFO because apparently he decided to leave it behind. And then we save Tina. Or we sort of save Tina, and the UFO explodes here. Oh no, we're gonna fall and die.
Aw.
Oh, thanks, Don Don, for being such a pal. Even after the game's over, Don Don saves us. All right, so that was AI2 Game Boy. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thanks, guys, for backing me up.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you for getting a PB.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, everybody, for your donations. And stick around for the rest of the marathon. It's going to be a great time.
Alrighty, thank you, ppotdot1, for that awesome run. We got a couple donations.